Go over the very important safety instructions, so please listen and listen carefully. Men jeg skal også lige høre om der.
Oh, it is low. Something else that is of course very popular is the statue of the Little Mermaid. Although she is indeed quite small, we can now see her on our right hand side. Originally the character was immortalized in the fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen, written in the 1800s. Much later, the Disney movie was made, and in between, in 1913, the sculpture was made by Edvard Eriksen, and she's been sitting here ever since. And fun fact, that statue alone cost more than the 4 palaces combined. It was crazy expensive. Taken like the Rosenborg Palace, the Round Tower, the Old Stock Exchange, and many more. And he spent all of our money on building stuff and on losing wars, mainly against Sweden. But now let's just focus. Entering Canal with a lot of bridges. The first one is very low. Please sit down and mind your heads. Thank you. Don't touch. What?
The very tricky bridges because it's not just low but also very narrow. Here it is important that you keep arms, legs, heads and everything else inside the boat so you don't hit yourselves. Ahead of us, we have the mustard-colored Thorvaldsen's Museum, where you can enjoy beautiful works of art made by sculptor Bertel Thorvaldsen. He's also buried in the courtyard. And right behind this museum is a church. In English, especially throughout the 14, 15, 1600s, the city expanded to become one of the most modern cities around Europe, including very modern dance moves. And a reference to this historic past is a statue of a fisherwoman from 1939, one of very few statues of women in Copenhagen today. There's also a statue of Absalon, the bishop who built the first castle here 1,000 years ago, starting that tradition. Many people consider him the father of Copenhagen. We have a bridge. Please sit down. It's one of many well-known buildings built during the reign of King Christian IV Husband's Church. A church historically linked with sailors and the royal family. On our right-hand side is the and it's through a very costly restoration. On our right-hand side is kayak bar.
I think it's so.
During the summer, you can rent a kayak here for a couple of hours. It's for free, but you agree to collect any trash you find in the harbor while you sail around.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's a very creative way of keeping the harbor clean. More on that later, but in front of us, a bridge. Please sit down. Be more livable and the harbor greener and cleaner. Both things have succeeded today, where the governments and the harbor authorities still work together to keep the harbor clean. Of course, this company is very much involved in this as well, because it is in our best interest. And we help, for example, develop sea bins, which are these trash cans that float around the surface level of the water and collect any nearby trash. We now return to New Harbour, and here, perhaps the most famous Dane of all used to live many years ago. When he moved to Copenhagen, he wanted to become a ballet dancer at the Royal Theatre, but he ended up writing some of the most beloved stories and fairy tales still enjoyed by people of all ages and all nationalities to this day. Of course, I'm talking about Hans Christian Andersen, and just on the other side of this boat, we have a white building with a black tiled roof. It's number 67. Number 67, white building, black tiled roof. He used to live in there for almost 20 years, and that's where he wrote some of his most famous stories. If you're curious as to which house here in New Harbour is the oldest one, I can tell you that it's neither of the houses Hans Christian Andersen used to live in. No, we have to return to the right-hand side and look for a dark blue building with the year 1681 written on the facade.
Please, what did he say? Please sit down. Ah, it's so tight. I didn't realize how close it was. Is it? It looks like him, yeah. And then it looks like they're gonna crash here. Wow, this one was empty. It is.